What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. It's the final day of the Premier League season. All action. It's all happened. I mean, it's a bit of everything happening, but nothing happened at the same time. The way we left it on game week 37 is the way it's pretty much ended on game week 38. The end of the Premier League season. Manchester United and Chelsea have qualified for the Champions League. Leicester missed out. Aston Villa stay up in their return to the big time. Bournemouth and Watford drop out. Today, I'm joined by Jay, Ramsey, and Shane. I mean, everyone got a win. Everyone here is happy. I'm smiling. You lot must be smiling inside. If you ain't smiling outside, how's everyone doing?
All good.
All good.
Good.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start right with my team. I have to do it. I'm happy. Listen, it was a nervy day. I couldn't sit still. I could not sit still. For pretty much the first half, I was standing up, walking my room, shouting at the TV. I mean, I was powerless, absolutely powerless to do anything about it. And as the game, Leicester, we were sloppy. We were sloppy in the first half of our passing, and Leicester were creating a few openings or running, on the defense. Maguire got a yellow card in the first 10 minutes. I was thinking, oh my goodness, do not do this. I'm just looking at the score thinking, Wolves, give me a go. And we couldn't break them down. And then I see Chelsea 1-0 up just before half time. And then when we went half time, they were still playing. I switch over, Giroud scores. I'm like, for God's sake, it's going to have to be us. It's going to have to be us. We have to do this ourselves. No one ain't going to be helping us. And you know what? The second half, mature, very, very mature performance. We controlled the game. Leicester, of course, this is a decent high side. They got decent players. They created, they stood attack. They needed to obviously get a win. I'm sure they would have known what was happening over at Stamford Bridge. They had to go forward, but we're just on the edge of creating a chance. Put Marshall through a few times. Rashford had a chance in the first half. Everything was just on the edge, and I think the first goal was always going to be crucial. And of course, it came from, as they like to call it, and I'm going to call him that today because I don't care, Bruno Fernandes. Yes, Bruno Fernandes took away the penalty. That, for me, that sealed Man United into the Champions League. After that, it was about game management, and I'm just happy. So, listen, I'm going to come to Shane, Man United fan. Well, what did you make of that game,
man? I don't think we were at our best. I think we played not to lose that game, but you know what? I don't really care that we played bad. I'm just happy we're in the Champions League game. That's all I can say. And yeah, we defended well. I thought we were, as you said, quite sloppy. I thought Leicester overran us a couple of times in the midfield, but you know what? I don't care. We're in the Champions League. Who cares?
Yeah, I was always fearful that we will go out there playing for a draw. And I think definitely in the first half, it was very much conservative.
Passive.
Yeah, it was. We didn't really want to risk anything, which, I mean, it makes sense because we all need a draw. But I felt like the game, we always had to win the game because once it's a draw, you're going to give Leicester the impetus. They can throw in a few additional players, even though they're already down on a few players. They can always throw them on and try and make something happen. So I always felt we needed to score and get it done and dusted. For you, who was, if we had one, who was the best player out there for us?
I would say Lindelof played well. I didn't think Bruno was at his best today. I honestly didn't. I thought Rashford, Bruno, Greenwood, and Martial, I thought they were all quite bad. I thought the defense was okay, but attacking wise, let's be honest, both of our goals came from Leicester being quite sloppy. The first goal, Leicester gave away the ball, and then who fouled it again? Wasn't it what's his name? Evans, Martial.
Who said that again? Who what? Yeah, Evans. Yeah, Evans.
Yeah, and then the second goal, Schmeichel just made a stupid mistake. So realistically, both our goals came from Leicester making mistakes, but I don't care.
No, I heard that. I don't know if you lot even watched the Man United game, but if you did, we can speak about it in a bit. I'm going to come to Javern next, Chelsea fan. I'm sure you.
Before we go on,
go on.
I didn't watch the Man United game, but
good, you shouldn't have.
I didn't watch the Man United game, but
it
doesn't even matter right now who third or fourth. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
Dead. Fourth.
That's fine. Dead fourth. That's fine. Still in the Champions League. But from what I saw from the game that we were watching, I felt exactly like you were feeling. But I think But I think the teams had nerves because the way how I was
Yeah.
watching, ball was moving around from defense to midfield, and then coming into the final third, it was disgusting. It was shambolic. There was no final. The final third ball was terrible. The decision made, and you could just see it was most likely nerves because everyone's like they can go and counter attack us. Everything could go out of, and it was just crazy. So, and then when we got those 2 goals right before half time, I felt great. Like there was a sigh of relief. We have lost 2-0 lead before, but I was just so happy that we were 2-0 up. It was just perfect. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty much how United felt because in terms of the whole being nervous thing anyway. So anyway, we're here. Like I did not think for me, Lampard has done so well. I did not expect him to get in top 4. Like I said before we even started this, we conceded way, way, way too many goals, and the defense needs addressing. And that's all. As long as we get that over and done with now, I couldn't care less. Yeah, we can go and win the FA Cup, but I'm just so happy we came in top 4, and that's it. Season done. Anything else? Season done. Don't care. Season done.
Fair enough.
Season done.
Question here from Michael Simon says, don't Chelsea have to go through mini qualification to get to actual
No.
Champions League? No, that's changed. They changed that a few years ago, actually. I think 4th place used to have to do a first qualifying round, but now they go straight in to the group stage, even though they're gonna be knocked out this season. They're back in it next year for more Bayern Munich Tonkin in London. No,
That's
but
fine. Season done. Season done. Season done.
I'm gonna come to Ramsey. Now we're not gonna speak about Arsenal just yet. You know, I know that's the game you were watching, of course. Yeah, even though there's nothing to play for. Actually, to be fair, there might have been some. You know what? I haven't actually checked the table. I haven't looked past past 5th basically. But we'll come to them in a second. In terms of Man United and Chelsea and Leicester, this whole top 4 race, how do you sum it up? Where did it go? I don't know if you watched any of the games today, but where did it go right or wrong for Man United, Leicester, and Chelsea? As I say that, we're just joined by forward here, Chelsea fan. We will get to him in chill out. Go on, Ramsey.
One word, really. Bottle jobs. Leicester City are absolute bottle jobs. Bottle Rodgers, all of that. But how can you be on in Boxing Day how many points clear, and from Boxing Day till today, 19 games and you've got 23 points? They absolutely bottled it. And Leicester can say, start the season, break into the top 6 is the aim. Fair enough, but you reassess your objectives when you get to certain stages in the season. And that, for me, is an absolute failure from Leicester. Obviously, not just today. Today was a chance to try and go back, but you left it too late. You got humble, and the Bournemouth was the end of it. You lost 4-1 to Bournemouth, and from that was it. And that really summed it up. And then, lost to Spurs when they had to win. Absolute bottle jobs, and Brendan Rodgers needs to hang his head in shame because that's terrible. No, hang his head in shame. That's terrible. That's embarrassing. That is actually embarrassing.
But this always happens. Didn't this happen to Aston Villa years back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Feedback coming through. 1 second. Back in, I think it was 2009, around that period, where they had like the likes of John Carew, Agbon Lahore, and they were pushing. And then Arsenal somehow clawed their way back in. That was the first time I was thinking, Arsenal are gonna fall outside the top 4, and it just didn't happen until years later.
Yeah, and Leicester did the same thing. I mean, to be that clear. I remember when we had a discussion, on the podcast not too long ago, and we talked about the start of before the restart, and we said Leicester are guaranteed top 4. It's all about who's going to get the other place, and to finish 5th in a that's
Spurs.
But you know what? To be honest, in Leicester, they've had lots of injuries. I think someone like Madison was on the field.
No, I'm not giving them that. 19 games and they got 23 points. Madison's been there the whole of January, the whole of February. Yeah,
he would have made a difference in that game today. He would have made a difference.
I mean, today, I think yes, they were robbed of. You know, Pereira's obviously been out for a while. Chilwell,
Yeah.
Madison, Soyuncu, obviously. But I mean, that's a red card. That is what is not. It's not unlucky. It was
Most
stupid.
of these players might not even be there next season.
They might not be, but yeah, they missed out on like 4 or 5 players today, which could have made a difference in this one game. But yeah, I do agree in terms of the spell from December when they lost to Liverpool, and I think it was Boxing Day, they got punked 4-0. They've just been on a downward turn since then. Like Vardy didn't score between December and the last game just before lockdown against Villa. That's how the form that Leicester's been on. So partly yes, injuries, and when you're smallest team, I guess you can't afford injuries as much as maybe a bigger side has got a bigger squad or a better squad. So they've suffered with that, but I'm not giving them any excuses because you had that position clear. No injuries excuses losing 4-1 to Bournemouth. No injuries in the world excuses that for me anyway.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying they have been unlucky with injuries. That's all.
No, that's fair enough. It's fair enough. Ramsey, we're going to come back to Arsenal. No one wants to hear, but we'll come to it anyway. Forward, Chelsea, into the top 4, against many odds. I'm not going to say all odds. Very, very pessimistic. I didn't think you'd get top 4. I said 6th, just behind Man United. I mean, you did just finish behind Man United, but obviously in 4th place. How do you assess today's game, the way that you got the victory, the way that you managed it? And we'll get onto the season overall in a second. But in terms of today's game, how will you use with the performance and the result?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm elated at the result today, man. I'm just gassed. But for today's performance, it was good. It's a professional job we did. The first 40 minutes are pretty cagey. Obviously, Wolves set up with the same system that we did, so it made it a really tough game. But thankfully, a piece of magic from Mount with a beautiful free kick set us away, and then literally in a quick power play, we scored the next 2 minutes straight after that with Mount putting in Giroud. So just happy to see the boys perform today. I feel like we've been a lot more assured when we've got leads since post-lockdown. I think we've been a lot better at managing the game, keeping possession, stifling the opposition. I think Wolves didn't have their first shot target today for like the 65th minute, so we were pretty much in control of that entire game from once we got the first goal. So I'm just gassed, man, because it was all about getting a result today, making sure we're in top 4, keeping the schedule right. We shouldn't be playing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. No Thursday, Sunday football tonight is dead. So, man, I'm just gassed, man. I'm happy to be in the Champions League again. That's where Chelsea are meant to be, man. That's what I'm meant to be.
Of course they are. Of course they are. I mean, once you qualify, you deserve to be.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Isn't it? You're Johnny Come Lately, 2003 babies. You are where you are. You don't.
Bro, don't be bitter, man. Don't be bitter. You got your penalty again. Come on, man. We know what it is. Manchester United. You got into the trap. Don't be salty, bro.
I already gave.
It was a penalty, though. It was a penalty. It was a penalty.
Yeah, it's always a penalty.
I mean, Evans did technically get the ball, didn't he? So, like, I mean,
maybe it was a penalty.
Evans got the ball. So, I mean,
maybe it was a penalty. Maybe it was a penalty.
I'm just
but,
saying.
There's some.
Just saying, though.
There's some.
All I'm saying is you don't get penalties every game in the Champions League, innit? So you guys are gonna have to find something new for the Champions League. You don't get free penalties every game, man. That's all I'm saying, innit?
We won't need penalties for the Champions League.
Say that again.
We won't need penalties to win our Champions League games.
Oh, like you lot. Yeah, it's true. You have to go
we'll see about that one.
No, but
you know, Mason Chubbs and so and all these other Wi-Fi bastards. It's gonna be top level games, man.
I already gave praise to him. I called him Bruno Fernandes because a penalty is a goal. I don't care if anyone said a penalty is a goal. And for me, it's a penalty. Evans may have got a touch on. I'm not 100% sure. But the ball didn't change any direction. Martial was still in full control. It was right in front of him. And he then cleared him out. So it's not a case of got the ball, then the man. Man just took him out. And it was like, if I get the ball, then so be it. Like, that's the way I saw it in it. But, I mean, the way the game was going, I was nervous because of what was on the line more than the fact that Leicester were bossing the second half. First half, Leicester were on top. Second half, I think we controlled it. But I think with everything that was on the line, I think we, as Shane said earlier, we kind of played within ourselves. And I think that made it much more of a nervy game. Ramsey.
We needed that first goal.
Say that again, Shane?
We needed that first goal just to calm things down a little bit.
Definitely. I agree. Ramsey, Arsenal. I thought you lot were going to just go for like a record score at one point. I saw goals flying in left, right, centre. Aubameyang going for the top goal scorer. And then second half, what the hell happened? I mean, you got the win. The win was important. You got the win. You moved up to, I think I just checked. I just perched my eyes right down to the bottom part of the top half of the table. 8th.
I think they're 8th.
Yeah, behind Spurs. What? You got the win. Not happy with that.
Troy Deeney, where are your cojones now, big man? Where are your cojones now, big man? You get me? You talk the talk. Since you talk the talk, you ain't beat us. He told you, we need the cojones to beat you. And since then, 5 games you ain't win. And the 5th game, you lost and you got relegated. And you had a chance to make it 3-3 from 6 yards out of a header and you missed. Then you had another header and you missed again. So where are your cojones now, innit? Where are your cojones now? Because you love to talk the talk, but now it's time to receive it. So, 3 points, we'll take the win and see you later, Watford. You bottled it. They were in the Premier League, they were comfortable at a stage. Sacked your manager and bottled it and kicked out the lead. So
I'm actually
couldn't care less about Arsenal season. That season's done. As far as I'm concerned, at 6 p.m. this COVID season finally done. Let's move on now to September to the new season. Let's get rid in terms of the Premier League.
You still got the FA Cup.
Yeah, in terms of the Premier League, just done. Done and dusted. Don't even want to speak about the season ever again.
I'll tell you, we'll speak about the relegation in a bit, but I'm actually happy with Watford are down. I'm not going to lie. I don't wish relegation on anyone, but I put out a tweet a few days ago. I was like, what is their purpose in the league? They don't push for Europe. They don't play good football. There's no consistency in terms of manager and build. They sack the manager every once a year, and we saw what happened with Pearson. I was like, just go. At least Bournemouth, as bad as they are, and the fact they're down, the league table never lies. At least they try and play some football. Like, what do Watford actually offer to the Premier League? They get smacked by City every time they play. That FA Cup final performance they put in last season, that was worthy of relegation alone. Like, come on, that was ridiculous. But back to the game, Arsenal. Yeah, what did you make of that game?
Yeah, done. I mean, as I said, we kind of got the job done in the first half. Watford did come back and did play well towards the end. Keith made a good save, but then we also had chances of our own. Aubameyang and Nketiah had chances as well in the second half. So it could have gone either way. Watford could have got the win, but they weren't good enough. And we beat them. It's good to get the win in terms of momentum. Obviously going into the FA Cup final, obviously on the back of a loss from Villa. But I'm just happy to just move on now. Good win. 8th place, could have been 10th, but Burnley and Sheffield United decided to bottle it as well. But you look back and you say, no, if we beat Aston Villa, we would have been 11 on points with Wolves. We could have snatched a guaranteed Europa League spot. But yeah, now we have to do. We've got to face Chelsea next week.
Let me bring up the Premier League table. Okay, so let's see if I can make that bigger. So obviously, yeah, we know the top 4. Liverpool 99 points, missed out on another record. Poor Liverpool. Man City 81 points, so that's 18 points behind. Is that a record or is 19? Were Man City 19 points ahead of? Yeah, they were. It was 181 when in 2018. Yeah. So another record they missed out on there. But anyway, 32 wins. To be fair, that's a joint record I think for most wins in a season. So they get that. Man United 66, Chelsea 66, Leicester, Spurs, Wolves. So if Arsenal win the FA Cup, Wolves will be knocked out of Europe. Is that correct?
Yeah. Unless they win the Europa League.
Well, if they win the Europa League, they're going to be in the Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, as a Man United fan, of course, I want to win the Europa League, but I wouldn't begrudge. I wouldn't begrudge. I might have a word with Oli and just say, allow Nuno and them man to, if they can get through. I don't know. They got Olympiacos and Roma. That ain't going to be easy. And then moving down, if we move further down, Sheffield 9th. Relegation. So we know West Ham
Aston Villa caught so much life, man.
Well, listen, we got to talk about Jack Grealish. We have got to talk about Jack Grealish because obviously a lot was resting on him. A lot was, I guess, residing on his shoulders to keep Aston Villa in the Premier League. He put in a man-of-the-match performance against Arsenal last week or midweek. and that put them outside the relegation zone. And today you got the goal that effectively kept them up because Yarmolenko wanted to equalise after. I'm going to come to a forward. Jack Grealish, are you expecting him to make a move this summer? Because from what I'm seeing this year, he looks too good.
I mean, I would hope that he would make the move because for me, I feel like he's done everything that he needs to do at Aston Villa. He could have even left the last season. There was a lot of links linking him to either Tottenham, potentially Arsenal were in the mix for getting him as well. But he obviously stayed at Villa. Obviously, I believe his boyhood club, but certainly has a lot of links to the fan base and the club itself. And he's done a great job for them and ultimately kept them up with that last day goal. So for me, I think for him to move on to the next stage of his career, which is trying to get into that England squad for the Euros next season, he's got to move on. Because playing at Aston Villa, you just see him really limited by having to almost hog the ball as much, try and dribble, win fouls and all of that. And I feel like he would just look... I personally just, as a fan, want to see what he looks like in a better team where he's surrounded by players of a similar standard to him. So hopefully he leaves. Hopefully Villa get maybe the 50 or 60 million that they would need to make that move worth it for them. And you see them part ways.
Shane, you want to see him at Man United next year?
I would love Grealish at Man United. I think we need...
There's no space for him.
No, he's a squad player in the team. If, say, Rashford gets injured, he could just come in. That's what his role would be.
Or if Bruno.
But I'm sure he'd want first team. That's the thing. He wouldn't want to be...
but he's not guaranteed first team with someone like Chelsea or something.
That's the thing. I think the only place where he could go, let's say he moves up a level from Aston Villa. And Aston Villa, remember, they're a big club in terms of their reputation. But if he wants to, say, go to a team that's in Europe, Spurs, is he starting for Spurs? Maybe. I mean, between him and Lascelles. Say that again.
I mean, for me, I feel like if he moves up to any of the European teams, he'd be challenged. He wouldn't be a guaranteed starter. But I mean, ultimately, I think that's what he's got to do. He's got to try and prove himself at one of these clubs. And I think at United will be a good move for him because there's a lot of, Rashford, Fernandes, Martial, Green, like, he's played these guys and burnt these guys out over the season. Now, if he has backups like a Grealish, and obviously then if he brings in Sancho as well, then that's better backups that you can bring in throughout the season. And yeah, I mean, again, the only thing is though, if you're United, do you want to part with 60 million to go and buy a backup player? Maybe that's not the right move in terms of keeping the books balanced. But I mean, as a utility player, as a backup player to United, I think he would be a pretty good option.
No,
I think he'd be great at Arsenal.
Ramsey, you taking Arsenal? Of course, you're taking Arsenal. You're mute.
You're mute.
Of course, I'll take him Arsenal, but I don't feel there's any need for him. You can go. Yeah, I don't think there's a need for him to go Arsenal.
I mean, Arsenal's a step up. It's a massive step up from Aston Villa right now. So,
but Neeks, you got to bear in mind that we're talking about moving to teams in Europe, and obviously Arsenal aren't in Europe next season. So,
not
yet. Step up to
you don't know yet.
Not yet.
Stop talking, bro. Because when they slap us, then what? You be eating your words.
It's gonna be Baku Rewind 2, man. Come on.
It probably will be. Don't get me wrong. I'm expecting you to win the game. You're the Champions League team, of course. So you're the favourite. So I expect you to win that. I'll be surprised if you bottled it in the final. So yeah, no, I think Grealish should be getting. I mean, it depends on who wants to pay the money. To be honest, Spurs didn't really want to pay the money for him. And he stayed at Villa. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still at Villa next season. It's probably better. It's probably more chance of him leaving if they got relegated. And the fact that they're staying in the Premier League, they're going to try all they can do try and keep him to stay for another year.
That's the thing, because if they went down, 100% he's leaving without a shadow of a doubt. To play in the Premier League at the bare minimum. And I felt like maybe 30, 40 million in this like new kind of market due to coronavirus would be enough. Being in the Premier League, as Forward said, they're not parting with him for less than 60 million. We've heard the likes of Maddison was told about 80 million a few months ago. I know the market shrunk because of everything that's gone on, but I can't see anything less than 60 million for an young English player from Aston Villa side. What are they going to use for 60 million? Who are they going to go and buy? Who are they going to buy that's going to do the same job? Because you can have 60 million in your pocket, but 60 million ain't scoring the goals and getting the assists and carrying the team. So yeah, they want something.
I also think in terms of saying about England, I feel like he'll actually perform better at staying at Villa, being the main guy.
But would he be picked? That's the question, because we know.
Well, if he, I feel like if there's if he went to someone like a Spurs and it didn't work out for him, and he's getting rotated week in, week out, and he's not starting, and it comes to the last 10 games and he gets, 1 or 2 starts and then he comes off the bench, then his season sort of starts to
The reason why I say
right now he's in pole position.
But
right now,
you say that, but up until a few months ago, Lingard was in the team. Lingard hadn't done anything for nearly a year whilst he was still being picked for England. But I felt the fact that he was playing for Manchester United gave him that boost. Maddison and Mount, for me, Grealish was doing more than them at the time, but them playing at bigger or better sides gave them the edge when I think when Gareth Southgate was picking. Because for me, Grealish should have been playing for England already if we're basing it on the first half of the season or so. But so there's two. Obviously, you need a game to prove yourself. But I feel like being at a big club and even getting half the games that you are at Villa, it puts you in the eyesight of international managers just a bit more. But I guess it's something we have to wait and see. I don't know about Grealish in Liverpool. I mean, for the price, no, because they're talking.
They don't even spend money as it is.
For Thiago, they're not gonna spend. For him to be on the bench, yeah, he'll be on the bench. He's not going to get ahead of Naby Keita and probably Wijnaldum in that system. I would say. 40 says, to be fair to Mourinho, he did take Spurs from 14th to Europa. Do we have to give some credit to Mourinho because he has held a lot of stick I've seen on social media. I would say since he joined Spurs. Now I don't know. I guess some of it is to do with his history. How it ended up Chelsea's last time out. Or do we have to give some credit? I'll come to Javance first. Do you have to give some credit to Jose for what he's done at Spurs? He got them up to 6th in the league.
People are so reactionary. They're not thinking about they're just thinking about how it all ended for Man United. How he was there, and we all know it wasn't all him. Why he failed at United? He had that same team that he had. The same team that Oli had, he had, and he came second with them at that time. Obviously, he said, "Oh, I want Maguire, I want this." They didn't give him; they gave him other stuff. And what they go and do after they sack him, they go and sign Maguire anyway. So, like Mourinho's not done. People think he's done. He's not done. He came into a Spurs team, which was they literally gave it their all in the Champions League. I think that was their last push that they had with Poch. They couldn't do it anymore. So now Mourinho's come in, he's going to change them up. They're all saying that, Kane is not going to thrive. The guy just came back from a big injury. What do you expect from Kane? And now he was scoring I think he scored today.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he scored today. Like, he scored a few the other game, I think against Sheffield.
Against Leicester.
Yeah, so just everyone needs to just relax. And
Mourinho's done.
Mourinho's
done. Mourinho's done. I'm putting no respect. Putting no respect on his name. The man took them. I'm glad he's got Spurs in Europa because all that means is that he's gonna stay for another year and he's gonna just doing the same old thing. He was the special once. He ain't gonna be special anymore. That if Spurs win a trophy while he's there, they'll be lucky. It might be a League Cup or a Community Shield if they ever get into that competition. He ain't gonna take Spurs any further than Pochettino did. So, he succeeded this year. If that was their aim when he came in, but and the Spurs fans will tell you, the Spurs fans ain't happy with the football. You think they played against Palace today in a match that they really needed to win because they weren't sure what was going to happen at Chelsea, and they drew it. If Wolves came back and beat Chelsea, then they wouldn't be in Europe. So they're still. The Spurs fans was telling me today that the football was bad. Today they're telling me the football was bad. So I mean, cool, get the job done, get into Europe. Maybe the aim is for them to just stay in Europa League.
The thing with Jose, the thing with him is always the case of unless you're winning, it ain't enjoyable because the football ain't gonna excite you. It's about the end result. And I mean, this season with Spurs, I guess he has achieved his target. They couldn't really expect him to get top 4 from where he picked them up after Pochettino. He's kind of finished as high as he really could, if we're going to be honest. I mean, there was a point, to be fair, where they were getting close to Man United, but I think 6th realistically, considering some injuries as well just before lockdown, they're fortunate when lockdown came to get all their players back. But I think 6 players, as in the end result, for Jose, it's all about the end result. So he probably saw the result that was happening at half time with Chelsea and Wolves and said, guys, we only need a draw. So we're not going to attack in I didn't watch the game. We're not going to attack in the second half and take a draw. If they were losing, if Wolves were winning, he might have said, all right, guys, we need to get a second goal. I don't know, innit? Jose's all about the result. So it's only enjoyable if they win. So if he does win something with Spurs, I mean, it's more than Pochettino. I'm sure
you know what's so funny? Just to add to that, I expected that response that Ramon gave. I expected that because obviously he's an Arsenal supporter, and obviously Mourinho and Arsenal have bad blood. So I expect that result, and obviously he's now at Tottenham too. So I expect nothing but that response. But for me, Mourinho has done a good job to get Spurs back into there. If Poch stayed there, they definitely would not have gotten to that place where they are now. And also, Tottenham fans, I think they need to settle down and relax. They say they're not happy with Mourinho's football style. Okay, you're happy with Poch's style. Did Poch's style get you any trophies? What? Tell me.
No.
I'll wait. I'll wait. So
and Jose style got them knocked out of the FA Cup to Norwich.
I hear you, Ramon. I hear you.
So
Ramon.
they ain't win a trophy yet.
I hear you. I hear you.
When they're in the FA Cup and they didn't win a trophy.
I hear you, Ramon. But this is the Tottenham fans need to relax. Mourinho came in halfway through a season, and Poch done whatever they done to the team. The team didn't want to play anymore. Move on. Like, he's gone. Be mad at Poch for leaving you in this position. Not be mad at Jose. Jose's coming. He's like, all right, we got a job to do. We need to get at least Europe. And the guy was very positive. He's like, yeah, we're winning the Europa League. Well done on him. Put that mentality in them. And you never know. They might go on and win a trophy. They might not. But if they win a trophy...
Jose say they're going to win the Europa League?
Yes.
Well, just today?
No, previously when they were talking about finishing the 6th, it was like a.
Oh, as in getting to the Europa League.
Huh?
As in getting qualified for the Europa League.
They were like in the press conference. He was
you said win the Europa League. I thought you meant he's talking about next season.
Yes, next season.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure if he's talking about next season or this season, but he said we're one game away from qualifying for the qualifying, and then obviously next season we're gonna win it.
Okay.
That's along those lines. That's what he said in his press conference. So all what matters right now for them is that they finished there, and if he goes on and wins a trophy for Spurs, then these fans are like, oh, they're these Poch loyalists. Yes, he was great, but he didn't win anything. If Jose now comes, they all need to say sorry. They all need to say sorry.
It's
not about.
I mean, if I can come in.
Sorry. Just I'll let you come in a second, but it just brings back to the whole Atletico and what's that guy's name? Simeone. No stick this guy gets, and he plays the same way.
But he's successful at it.
I hear you, but you can be successful in Spain. There's hardly any other competition.
But is Jose not successful? I mean, he wins trophies.
Exactly. This is the point that I'm making. I'm saying Mourinho.
No, but the difference is Mourinho's toxic. Mourinho will be toxic at your club. If things aren't going well, he will be toxic. Simeone is not a toxic guy.
I'm gonna let Forward come in. I'm gonna come back to you.
No. I can't stand this.
For someone who likes throw around the word poison, talking about my boy Pogba, he should be using it for Jose. I want you to mull on that.
I'm not saying he isn't. I'm not saying he isn't, but I'm just saying I want to see that same stick.
I want you to just mull on it forward. You look like you're itching to defend Jose.
I mean, what I would say about Jose is, first of all, it is a results business, and he got Tottenham to 6, which at the time I don't think a lot of people would have predicted. And if you look at even his point study while he's been at Tottenham, that would have been over an entire 38-game season. That would have been pretty much around 66 points, which is what got both Chelsea and United into top 4. So there's cause to think that, over a full season with another pre-season, obviously another transfer window, you could get this Tottenham team pushing top 4. Now, for me personally, am I at all disappointed or left underwhelmed by Mourinho at Tottenham so far? Just looking at it as a neutral. I mean, a little bit, because we saw him for Sky Sports doing all these punditries, being on obviously as a pundit there with Graham Souness and Carragher, giving all these master classes on games, giving really good insight. And then he said something which was interesting to me, which is that, I'm working on some new tactics, and you're going to see like a new Mourinho, or at least like a new kind of style with Tottenham. And it's been about, 6-7 months? I haven't seen nothing new. Like, it's been the same dead football. So for me, cool. If they're going to get results and for me, they're going to attack the cups next season. They're going to be a dangerous teams in the domestic cups. And for me right now, I would pick them as favourites to win a Europa League next season. So I do ultimately think he will break Tottenham's duck of not winning a trophy in I don't know how long. But in terms of actually contesting in the league top 4, I think the league is going to drop off dramatically once it gets to about February, March time next season, because they're going to be prioritising the FA Cup. They're going to be prioritising the Europa League. So for me, it's going to be kind of same old Jose. He's going to be a bit toxic when it doesn't go his way, but he's ultimately going to win trophies because that's what he does. So got to respect that at least.
Sorry, why does
just
no one
make sure
call Pep toxic?
Why is
Have you seen Pep Guardiola's conferences? He is so arrogant. He's so rude.
Yeah, but
yeah, he's not
Guardiola
toxic.
does not
He's
call
not
out
toxic.
players.
Oh, come on,
What, Shane?
he's more toxic.
Guardiola doesn't
Nah,
call
but
out
bro, there's
players like
levels of
Mourinho
toxic.
did.
One second, Paul. Go on.
You're either toxic or not.
No, but Mourinho calls out players. That's his problem. If there's something he's not happy about, he's gonna say something about it. Guardiola, like when City lost to United 2-0 at Old Trafford, that was probably Ederson's worst game in a City shirt. Guardiola defended him, and when you look at Mourinho with Ndombele against Burnley, where he didn't play that well, Mourinho's on his case, and now that guy's probably gonna leave now.
And this is the problem. These too much snowflakes. Like, you crap. He's telling you you're crap. Why do you need muddy cuddling? I don't
Should
understand.
he be calling out a player? Should he be calling out his players?
Yes, you're
I
crap.
don't agree with it. No.
You're crap.
Well, we'll see.
You know what?
I know we're in a new age right now where everyone needs to be told that they're really, really good, even though they're crap. That's the age that we're in now.
No, you don't do it in public though.
Oh, you got to, man.
Yeah, but one thing I gotta say is,
No,
Javon, you've just recognized that we're in a new era. Whether you like it or not, this is ultimately a new era. This isn't the day of Roy Keane's and Vieira's having fights in the tunnel before a game. It's not that era. It's the new. It's the era where I don't like it where I see opponents on the pitch hugging each other off the tackles and all that. I don't like all of that. I'm like, bruv, they're enemies. You man are ops on the pitch. You gotta go there and get the win. But got to understand there is a new generation, and ultimately, when Mourinho was talking about how I've adapted a new style, I'm going to improve, I'm going to change. Yeah, he's got results relatively for Tottenham, I guess, but nothing's actually changed on the pitch. And if it isn't, and if Tottenham win a game 1-0, it's dead and all that, they're gonna be, at least we got the result, right? Under Poch, the football was good. It wasn't like amazing, but it was good, and he got second in the league. They got to a Champions League final, so I can understand why Tottenham fans really like Poch. And yes, the rules fell off, but if Mourinho isn't going to get that, and also is going to play pretty dead football, then I can sympathise with Tottenham's pain. But if he does win an FA Cup, then it's all worth it at the end of the day.
I would say, and the rules will fall off at some point if history's to go by. So it's like Jose will get success, but you know that in the end, it ain't going to be a case of him leaving a hero. In terms of the way
he's a villain,
it's going to be something acrimonious. That's why it ends, and it always leaves a stink in the air when Jose leaves a club other than Inter Milan. Because even when he left Chelsea the first time, even though the players loved him, he fell out with the owner. It wasn't a case of I'm retiring a hero, Premier League, FA Cup, right, let's go. No, he had issues.
Yeah, and our owner was an idiot for that. We could have gone on, but we could have done some good dominance. I hear you, but I'm just saying, he could have gone and did some good dominance, man. We could have, if we had Mourinho still. Oh my gosh. I know we still won stuff after, but I still wish we had him.
One second, I was going to say, Mourinho's a sport brat. This way, when he doesn't get his own way, he throws his clothes out of pram.
Yeah.
That's the problem is. Most managers don't get their own way. Look at Klopp. Klopp missed out on Pepe. Klopp missed out on Werner. They're obviously in for Thiago. We don't know if we're going to get. Klopp ain't throwing bring all the disrepute around the club. We know that he finds a way to kind of get on with it. And yes, you can see he's disappointed. Mourinho don't do that. When Mourinho's upset, everybody must know. Everybody and their dog must know. And he's gonna
and that's just his style, isn't it? That's his style.
Or he's gonna force his way out of the club, get his payout, and go and move on to the next one.
And that's his style, and everyone's painting it as this and that. Like
call it poison. Call it poison.
You want to call it poison? That's how everyone wants to paint it. Everyone wants to paint it. Like I said, you can't be 2% toxic. You can't be 10% toxic. You can't be 90% toxic. You can only be toxic or not. Okay,
Call it
Pep,
toxic.
Pep is toxic.
I want you to call
Pep
No.
is toxic.
call Jose.
How?
Is toxic. Have
Call him
you
poison.
seen
Call
their
him
press
poison.
conferences?
Call
I'm
Jose.
just saying,
No,
if
forget Pep.
if you don't want to call Mourinho
I don't want to. I
toxic,
want you
all
to.
these managers are
I
toxic.
want you to call him poison. I'm not calling him anything. I'm calling
No,
him.
but
the
I'm just
one.
saying this is how it is, isn't it? Like, I'm just saying how it is. Everyone wants to paint Mourinho as this toxic person. I'm not saying he isn't, but I'm just saying if you want to paint him as that, look at the other managers. Yeah, they do things in their way that's just as toxic as him. Mourinho is just a bait about it. Like, you know what? It is what it is. I'ma say it. The others, like, come on, man. Pep, I've heard some of Pep's conferences, and he is rude. He is absolutely downright out of order. But no one says anything.
And Mourinho's
No one
not.
says anything. No, I'm not saying he isn't. That's the point. I'm not
Wait,
saying
can I
he
just ask you
isn't.
something though? Can I just ask you something? Okay, say you were a player under Mourinho for the Spurs team, and say you won having your best game, and he called you out. How would you feel?
I'll feel pissed, like, rah.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's what it is.
exactly.
But I'm not gonna go crying about it. I'll do my best to do better. I'm sorry, I was brought up.
Yeah, but should Mourinho be
Differently
whining
to how
about it if
people are.
one of his players isn't playing well?
Listen, if I was playing crap, and someone said to me, "Don't worry about it," you know what? You were good. You just got to do. No,
No, but no.
why are you filling me with lies?
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have to say that, but he shouldn't say it in
Public.
public.
That's the issue. But anyway,
Tell
listen.
me, maybe he told me before, and you don't know. You could play one crap game. He doesn't come out in public straight away. Maybe it's happening gradually. He's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna say it in public.
Well, you know what I'll say, just to round this up. Yes, that's his management style. But what we do know from history is that when it does do this, it invariably ends well. So Forward spoke about him saying he's new style of management, and we're looking for it. I'm yet to see it. So he must know that every time I call out these players, these man, as you call it, this man are snowflake. I don't get a tune out of them. All right, I need to change my way. Why are you changing your way? Change your way. I don't know, innit?
Maybe he will next season. Obviously, he needs the top 6 this season, but we'll see what he does next season, innit? If he doesn't change, then he's a liar.
Well, I'll tell you what,
He just better keep Harry Kane.
Mourinho will
He just better
take a
keep
big
Harry
L
Kane.
if he sells Ndombele.
Say that again?
If he doesn't change next season, then he's a liar, innit?
Say that again, Shane?
If he sells Ndombele, he's going to take a big L.
Boy,
He
listen.
will.
I
would take him at United.
I wouldn't. No.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because I can only base it on what I've seen in the Premier League. I'm not, league in the world. He doesn't look like he's got the fitness level to do to get around the pitch, and we're already struggling with that at Man United already. So I wouldn't look to take him on and try and build him up into someone who's gonna get around and press and high energy and all that kind of stuff. Technically, ability is brilliant, but in this day and age, you need more than that. The fact that Liverpool won the league with Fabinho, brilliant technical player, but with Henderson and Wijnaldum as their midfield 2, says it gives us an indication about the era that we are in. Mason Mount, good technical footballer. I didn't see it, but I heard he scored a free kick. But one of his biggest attributes is really his energy, the way that he presses, the way he harries opponents. Of course, you have to have an end product at the end. I think he still needs to work on that. He's a young player. But I think the fact that he has that puts him in good stead. You work on the technical ability. Ndombele is not even showing the basic level of fitness and energy that, for me, you have to succeed in the Premier League. Maybe he's not suited for this level. I've seen world-class players come to the Premier League, like Sebastian Veron, like Diego Forlan. These people are still world-class, but they just don't suit the league, and that's okay sometimes. So I personally wouldn't take him at Man United right now.
Is it that you don't think he suits the league, or it's just his fitness?
It's fitness. I think it's fitness in terms of his just ability to last 90 minutes in a high-intensity league.
I understand where you're coming from, but the difference is we are quite vulnerable when we play against teams that press us. Ndombele can break a press with ease. We need someone like that. That's why we get him. Fitness can be worked on.
Well, listen, it's been a year, and he's still not in the Spurs team, and I don't know why. So I can only
That's
put it down.
Mourinho, not him.
One thing I would say about Ndombele is his fitness is taking a turn for the worse since his cruciate ligament injury. People have kind of like over missed that point because that happened at the start of this season. So, and then I watched him a lot at Lyon, and I thought he was excellent for Lyon. I saw him bust midfield against Man City. I saw him hold his own against Barcelona at the Camp Nou. I think, and his fitness wasn't ever really an issue there. So perhaps it's something he's got to get over in terms of his injuries, and maybe he'll be.
European football is slower. European football is slower than the Premier League. That's what I'm saying. It's not that he's not a good player, but is he going to be a quality player in the Premier League? I don't know.
I think he could still be, but I mean, one of the major point that I just wanted to get to in terms of Mourinho and how he's treating Dembele is how was he going to leave Tottenham long term? Because he's seen how he's left United long term. He's seen some of United's best players over the last few weeks, Martial, Rashford, Pogba. These are all guys that Mourinho slated heavily at his time there. You've seen what happened with Chelsea, the likes of De Bruyne, I don't even want to go through the names, but Salah, Sturridge, a lot of quality players who went on to do great things elsewhere all get left in the wayside by Mourinho, and he didn't, because he didn't play these guys, he didn't trust these guys at the time. We saw Ruben Loftus-Cheek had to take the long way around in terms of actually getting football in the Premier League, and I can go on and on and so forth. So my thing is for Javern, and I mean, again, I don't want to bring up the conversation again, but I just find it interesting that Javern, as a Chelsea fan who knows all these things, is capping so hard for Mourinho. I mean, it's quite interesting, to be honest, but.
Listen, yeah, we put our faith in the youth, yeah, and look at where we are. Our youth are not as good as
exactly. We got top 4. Maybe we'll get back onto Chelsea later, but we got top 4, so it is what it is.
But we go on. I'm sorry, not all of them are good, but we continue.
I'm just saying, if Mourinho,
maybe we're going to segue into a Chelsea conversation, but I mean, Chelsea getting top 4 again without Hazard this season, who again I stress got 49% of our goals last season. He contributed towards 49%. So I mean, for us to get top 4 without signing anybody, yes, we got Pulisic in a kind of in a back alleyway, but without signing anybody that Lampard wanted and getting top 4. I mean, that's an amazing achievement, and you got to say that. You know what?
It is.
I've seen a lot of good Chelsea academy teams.
We're going to come back to the managers. Lampard, we'll speak out Arteta. Going to quickly say, shout out Jamie Vardy, Golden Boot winner. I mean, listen, when he came into the league, he's the guy who used to run in behind, snatch the ball, and he's got, 2 Golden Boots now, I think? Maybe it could be even 3, I'm not sure, but he's a 20-goal a season striker. Certified 20-goal a season striker, 23 goals this year, 22 for Aubameyang and Ings and Sterling on 20, everyone else behind. Harry Kane's done well as well, 18 because he was out injured as well.
22 for Aubameyang again, twice in 2 seasons.
Yeah, not good enough though.
Damn.
Where's Tammy Abraham?
Couldn't win the Golden Boot, not good enough. What can I say?
What a killer.
It's time to go. Aubameyang, it's time to go.
So is Harry Kane. Jose better. You better get on his knees and beg Harry Kane to stay at the club.
Big up Martial, big up Rashford, 17 goals.
Where did Tammy Abraham end up?
Say that again.
I think Abraham got 15. He got 15.
That's a good return.
It's pretty good return.
No, it is.
Very good return.
Look at the end of it. It's a good return. He got 15. Martial 17. Martial was first choice pretty much all season. I know he had his injury issues. Tammy Abraham wasn't first choice all season. It's a good return. We're going to go back to Chelsea. We're going to go back to Man United. Golden Glove. Edison won that. 15. Yeah, 60. Oh, 16. He got 16 in the end. 16 clean sheets. Nick Pope got 50. And I mean, I'm not going to say they were lucky, but it looked like it was down the pan when Norwich scored early in the game, but that was ruled out for offside correctly by VAR. And then this record, which, I mean, playing Norwich at home, you couldn't ask for an easier game to break the assist record than Kevin De Bruyne. Well, I say fell one short of breaking it. He equaled the record of Thierry Henry, 20 assists, well clear of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who got 14. And I don't see Henderson anywhere in here, so I expect the PFA award to go to the man at the top of that list. I don't know what you lot think about that.
Unlucky, Kevin.
And they didn't
you almost beat Henry's record. I
think it was Mahrez's goal. Mahrez's first. No, Mahrez only got 1 goal, didn't he? Yeah. So Mahrez. I thought it got a deflection of De Bruyne. I thought he blocked the shot or blocked the clearance to Mahrez, but I think it came off the defender instead, so he didn't get the assist for that. So it is what it is. 20. The record stands. Equal, of course. To be broken. I want to quickly speak about. Actually, let's start with Arteta. Since Ramsey was a bit left out of the discussion. Are you happy with what Arteta's done so far since he's come into Arsenal? And obviously, you got the FA Cup still to come. What are you looking for going forward next season?
Yeah, like when Arteta came in, as I said at the time, it was a free hit to do whatever you wanted from me. It looked like what we're hearing from the board was that this season is a sort of a free for all, kind of just do as much as you can, do as best as you can. It's obviously disappointing not to get Europa, especially as we were close to it. But taking over halfway through a team after two different managers, it's not always easy to get the squad that you want. Not to have a budget really in January as well. So there's improvement. There's signs of improvement there. There's obviously some great results against Man City and Liverpool, Manchester United, drawing away at Chelsea. So we've had some very good results under Arteta. It's all about obviously the consistency going forward against the teams next season. And if he can take a trophy, next weekend, then yeah, and that's Europa League and a trophy. You can't ask for more for that from what he took over from Emery and Lundberg halfway through the season. That's a very good season.
Fair enough. I'm going to come to forward first on this one. Lampard. Now, we had a small discussion on Twitter about whether or not Lampard should be in contention for Manager of the Year. I know you wasn't saying that he should win it, but you were saying they should be in the discussion. So from that, you must be happy with what he's done this season. But in terms of Chelsea overall in the league, what's your overall assessment? And next season, what's your expectation? What are you looking for?
I think ultimately it's mission accomplished. At the start of the season, we would have been happy with top four. Winning the trophy would have been the icing on the cake, and we have the chance to do that next weekend. So I think, especially after the first game week, getting thrashed 4-0 by United, it looked like that could have been a precursor for our entire season. A lot of good football, but not putting it in the back of the net and then leaking goals up behind. But after that, we put in a pretty good run of form. And I think there's a lot of questions that still need to be asked about Lampard again, and these are questions that are meant to be asked because it's still on his second season in full management. So I think there's still things that he could work on, things that he can certainly improve upon. But I think these things will come in time just by his knowledge of the game and understanding as a manager growing with more experience, and they will also improve just by the caliber of play that he has at his disposal. And thankfully, we got Champions League football because it's going to help us. It's going to help with the transfer budget because even though we spent a lot, we still need to spend a little bit more in terms of improving the back line and the midfield as well. So again, getting Champions League was just so important, man, because for us to really get to that next level again, a lot of people are saying we're going to challenge next season because of the offensive signings we made, and I don't think we will. But if we then buy a goalkeeper, buy a left back, and then buy a centre back, then maybe we can start pushing the likes of Liverpool and City next season. So for me, Frank Lampard's done an amazing job because people always underestimate the fact that we lost Hazard last season. He didn't get a transfer window. Working with a lot of players who weren't proven at this level, and he's managed to unearth quite a few gems because nobody would have said Tammy Abraham would have scored 15 Premier League goals or to get Mason Mount of the season that he's had, or the emergence of Reece James. So I mean, it's been a great season, honestly.
I'll tell you who would have told us. You lot tell us about all your youngsters and how they all were.
Okay, so I tell a lot. Okay, I did tell you lot this was going to happen, but you lot didn't believe me in it. But it is what it is.
I'm happy I didn't believe you. I'm damn well happy I didn't believe you because you told me. I don't know about you, but Chelsea fans told me that Tammy Abraham was the second coming of Didier, and I'm gonna be
ridiculous.
He ain't. But
all I'm gonna say is on that is Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount did technically outscore Lampard and Drogba in their first seasons in the Premier League. So I'm not saying that they're gonna overtake their legacies, but they've had a pretty good start.
This is not a Tammy Chelsea Mount bashing. I'm not gonna do that. I would save that for a separate video where we have to really have a conversation about Tammy Abraham because things were said early in the season, and I ain't happy. But today,
we're still having that convo. Abraham versus Rashford. We're still gonna have it.
That's not even.
I'm gonna say well done. I'm gonna say well done.
You can't have
right now.
That's not even a conversation.
How do you assess Lampard?
Sorry.
How do you assess Lampard this season?
Well, so at the beginning of the season, I didn't think that we would even get into top four. I thought we'll be the top six. I was very worried, but at the same time, I was happy that Hazard left, as most of you know, because it's like I felt like everything was just built like for Hazard, and for me personally, I don't even think he's world class. But like Neeks said, that's a topic for another day. Yep, and I've said it to you as well, forward. So this is not new. So you keep laughing. What has he done for Real Madrid? What has he done? But we wait and see what he does. we'll continue waiting. And what look what has happened. He has left, and we are now playing more as a team. The goals are coming from everywhere in terms of the team is working together to create the chances. It's not just give it to Hazard. Oh, Hazard's not for it. Oh, well, we're screwed. No, I'm glad. I'm so glad. Lampard has come and done a difficult job. We got when we played Man United the first game of the season, we got 4 that drubbing. I was like, you know what? I'm not even too mad because what I saw from that team was something I did not see when we had Sarri. And I was like, you know what? I'll take that. And obviously, because it's Lampard's first game for us as well, big game. He's new to management, I would say. And yeah, but then as the season went on, I just saw this attacking intent. We had a good run of form, which I would say got us into the top 4 now, because there was a point where we just fell off, and we were so inconsistent. We'll pick up a win, draw, loss, win, draw, and then that pushed us down because we were in a good position. But we're in the top 4 right now, so that's all that matters. And I would say this has been a very good season for Lampard. And I think what impresses me is that there's games where he's changed things and it has worked out well, and he's made decisions.
What formation did you play today?
Listen, yeah, I
Five
didn't
at the
even
back.
look at formation.
Five
I didn't even look at formations today.
What I've heard in the recent weeks is that he plays 3 at the back, it works, and then he will stick with it, and it don't work, and then he will change it, and it does work. But people are saying that even though you lost against Liverpool, he needs to stick with it against Wolves, because obviously they play also with 3 or 5 at the back, and yeah, he's stuck.
I'm not sure because literally, I'm telling you, I was so nervous going into this last game that all I did was I looked at the picture that showed who's starting and who's on the pitch. I didn't even look to see if there was 4 defenders on, 3 I was just like, oh my goodness, we need to win this game. I was just watching it because obviously I wasn't even around from at the beginning. I just jumped into the link when Ramon sent it to me, and I was just watching. So I didn't see no lineups, nothing. I just wanted the win. So I don't know what we started, but in general,
what we did know is that Kepa was dropped, and that could spell the end of his Chelsea career, because this is your biggest game of the season. You know, in all aspects, you needed to get a positive result today, and he dropped his £70 million keeper. So for me, that says a lot.
And that's another thing about Lampard. He's, like I said, he makes these changes, and that's what I'm very impressed about. Those changes, and you may say, oh, it may work, and then he just changes it. But the Tottenham game brings 1, City game, this game. There are some other games where he's just made changes, and he's just turned the game around and turned things around. So I'm glad for that, and those are good qualities to have. And he's not afraid. Like, he's dropped Kepa, he's brought him back here, and he's dropped him again. Like, he's rotated. He's given, Tammy fell off for a bit, and he said, Giroud, you have to start. He gave, some other people would, for instance, sorry, would just constantly play Hazard. Like, I don't know. I don't know when people are playing. Oh, Higuain, when they're playing poorly, I don't know, innit? But Lampard had the balls to make those hard decisions, and I'm glad for that.
Fair enough. And you've had you've already made a couple of signings. Looks like you got probably another marquee one in Havertz coming soon. Obviously,
sorry. Just to add as well, that's another thing. The way how we played Liverpool. Yes, we got bad 5-3. Kepa's mistakes again, but the attacking. Then listen, I saw some mistakes from Kepa in that game. I remember. But the attacking intent, that's what I like to see. We didn't go out like losing like 5-0. Like when we were with Sarri.
You just liked it when you were swearing at Klopp and his bench. That's all it was.
Not even that, but it's just the attacking intent. I like it, man, because with Sarri, when we were losing games, we lost them. Like, we couldn't even come back into it or nothing. But with this, like, I know that we can go and score. Like, I've never sit down and think, oh yeah, we can't score. Yes, there's been times when we haven't, but I always think, you know what? I actually believe we can score. happened against Liverpool. It's happened in other games before where we scored, but like I said, he's done well with what he has, and I only look forward to what he can do next season. And hopefully, it wasn't a one season.
We're coming to the end of this. When it comes to Shane, Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United. How do you assess the season? How do you assess Solskjaer, and going forward, what you're expecting next season?
I think Solskjaer's expectations this season was to get top 4, and he's done it, and he's got third. But I think we need to realise that the Premier League's been poor this season. It really has. Like Chelsea and Manchester United have both been really inconsistent. But I think Solskjaer's done well. I think he's got rid of the wrongs, bringing in the rights. And do I think Solskjaer is good enough to win Manchester United league title? I think that's still a question to be had. But I think he's doing well at the minute. He's improving. Most of the players. Rashford's been, for me, world class this season. I think Martial's been great. And for me, the two expectations I want a Man United manager to do. For me, this is the foundation of Man United should be built upon. I think to play the youth, which he's done, he's given Greenwood a chance, and Greenwood's been superb because of it. He's given Williams a chance. Chong's been given a few chances. Yes, he could have played more, but he's still been given chances and to play good football. And yes, don't get me wrong, the football was bad at times, but we're playing good football now. So I'm happy with Solskjaer, and yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, can I just
go on?
Can I just ask one more question?
Yeah,
now that Chelsea and Manchester United are both in the Champions League, what team do you not want to face in it?
Honestly, at the top level, I want to face the best. That's the only real way you're gonna know how good you are. It's all good qualifying for the Champions League, and half the teams in the league aren't top quality, and they're becoming the best. Winning the Premier League, winning the major trophies. I want to see how you're gonna feel the new campaign, and all those kind of places. So honestly, of course, I want to go as far as possible, and if we win it by playing, I don't know, Napoli, Atalanta, respect Atalanta, they're quality attacking side, but if we have to go the easier route to win the Champions League, of course I'll take it. But I accept that if you're going to win the Champions League, you have to play the best at some point. So I'm not afraid of anyone per se. This is where we want to be. So we have to take, we have to welcome it. No point wanting to qualify Champions League and then hoping for a group of Dynamo Zagreb, I don't know, who's Sporting Lisbon and Auxerre. Like, come on, you have to step up to the plate, innit? And we had good nights. We went to PSG. I know they're not a European giant. No one expected it. Went to PSG, turned that around. Yeah, we got knocked out to Barcelona, but that night, that moment, that tie is still something that lives in the memory. And Champions League, a lot of the times, is about creating memories. Only one team can win it any single year. So I'll take anyone personally. But I just want to say on social, listen, I've always said at the start of the season, I said you need to give him time. I don't believe he hasn't proved to me that he is the man who's going to win us the Premier League, who's going to win us a Champions League. He has to prove that to me because he hasn't got the track record to back that up. However, we've hired managers like Jose, like LVG, like Moyes, who just don't fit. Not saying that they're bad managers, but they just don't fit Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as a manager, fits Manchester United. As a coach, maybe not. Maybe he needs work. Maybe he needs better backroom stuff. Maybe we need a better coach. That needs to be wait and see. But as a manager, in terms of managing players, knowing what players need to be at the club, the right mentality, and the right coach at the club, Solskjaer knows that. So I was always on a case of, let's see where we are at the end of the season. Solskjaer deserves the whole season. You give him the job, you have to give him the whole season. You can't sack him in January. There's no point. Give him the whole season and let's see where we go. He may not be the right man in the end, but right now, for me, he's the right man for the job. He's got us into the Champions League. We've reached 2 cup semi-finals. We're in the Europa League with a chance of still winning a European trophy this season. And I just feel it's a case of giving him a chance. There's been different stages where, Arteta's been questioned. Lampard's been questioned. Solskjaer's been questioned. Solskjaer's not an inexperienced manager in the sense that he's been around much longer, but all of them are inexperienced at this level. And I'm tired of just getting rid of a manager and getting a new one and getting rid of a manager. I know it's worked for Chelsea. For Man United, I'm not happy about that. I don't want that. I want some longevity. That's what I grew up on. And maybe it's a fairy tale, but that's what I grew up on, and that's what I want. And I think Solskjaer can give us, and he's given us, to be fair, some stability since how Jose left us, and he's progressed us. Could he have taken us a bit further? Yes, possibly. Is he going to get us the whole way? Possibly not. But he has progressed us without a doubt, whether it's through the signings, whether it's through the coaching, whether it's just through improving the mood at Manchester United to allow the players to go out there and express themselves. So for me, I would say it's a good season. I predicted Man United would come 5th, and we finished 3rd. By hook or by crook, we finished 3rd. We've gotten a decent unbeaten run since we lost to Liverpool and Burnley back-to-back. So basically, since Bruno Fernandes come in, we haven't lost a game. Since lockdown, we're the only team in the league not to lose a game. So at least that mentality of not losing, whilst of course you want to win more games, is there. Because in previous seasons, when we go 1-0 down, I have no faith that we're going to come back into the game. We don't even know how to break down the team. So for me, I'm happy that Solskjaer has progressed us, and I'm willing to give him more time to see what he can do.
Can I just say something?
Go on.
Whether Solskjaer is good enough to be an elite manager or not, he's left this club in a much better place than he found it in. That's what I would say he's done.
100% for me. But yeah, guys, we're coming to the end of the stream, so we're not going to have a big back and forth about the different managers. Probably can do that maybe at the end of the season in terms of we've got FA Cup to come, we've got Europa League still to go, and there's transfers that haven't yet happened. So maybe it might be a preview to the next season where we can all again get together and talk about the other teams' managers in depth. But for now, it's the end of the stream, end of the Premier League season. Liverpool champions. I mean, well done. I guess I have to say, well done to Liverpool. Man City 2nd, Manchester United 3rd, Chelsea in 4th, all qualify for the Champions League next year. Commiserations to Norwich, Bournemouth and Watford have gone down. Well done to Aston Villa for staying up. That's it from Neeks Sports for the Premier League season, and we will